everybody, Judy here from My Divine Angel Reading. So this is our series on how to develop your intuition, psychic senses, gut instincts, that big ball of all different kinds of words. What we are talking about today is meditation. I can tell you several years ago, I thought it was kind of silly and woo-woo and flaky, I don't know, but I didn't know no better. Meditation is actually a major key ingredient in learning how to turn off your left brain. Meditation is like an essential key to diving into that place that you need to be in order to slow your brain down, put you in the mindset, and allow the information to flow to get answers to questions that you're, excuse me there, I just burped. To get answers to any question that you could possibly ever ask. And what I mean by that, if, I don't know, say you're having a dilemma whether or not you should take this specific job or move across the country to do whatever, or if you should marry this person or whatever your question might be. When you're in tune with your intuition, you get your answers. But if you're struggling and you're not sure how to get those answers, or you're not sure if you're getting the right ones, or if it's your ego or your intuition talking to you, meditation is so useful in so many different ways. That's how a lot of the answers and the information will come to you, but it's also a phenomenal starting point for learning how to get into the flow that you need to be, where your intuition kicks in. Your intuition comes in pretty subtle, and you kind of really have to have like your radars on and raise your vibration and be in a good state in order to notice when the information's coming in, as opposed to when something is just a coincidence, or I don't know what another example would be. I will do a video on meditations for beginners. I have an old one. I'll include the link to that below also. If you go on YouTube, there's a couple different websites that I absolutely love. When I go to bed at night, I have them right here. I put my headphones on, and I plug it into my phone, and I listen to various types of meditations. Now, you could listen to something that's called binaural beats, which sometimes they can get kind of freaky and psychedelic. They're still great. It's slowing down your brain and all that thinking. It's called monkey brain. How to just kind of make that monkey that's bouncing all over the place chill out so you can receive information. There's also guided meditations, which when I first started meditating, that was what I needed, because what you're doing is you're listening to someone who's talking, and they're guiding you through the process and where you need to be, as opposed to just sitting there in silence and, oh, I gotta do the dishes, and oh shit, I forgot to take the clothes out of the dryer, and I gotta run here, and I gotta pick up this, and that's monkey brain, all the different things that go on. A good way to get around that, right before you go to meditate, write down all the things that are going on in your head, your to-do list, or what you need to remember, stuff like that. That helps eliminate it. I also have a course that I'm putting together on meditation for beginners, and it's pretty cool. When you meditate, there's different phases of your brain. I forget what they are. There's like the alpha state and this state and that state, and it ranges from being totally awake and conscious to relax to sleep to like deep sleep. Basically, all you're doing is just really chilling and relaxing and just allowing whatever comes into your head to come in and just ride the flow without analyzing it and thinking about it and dissecting it and digesting. You don't want to do that. You want to just let it flow. So to give you an example, one time I was doing a past life regression meditation. There's a bunch of things that were going on in my life that seemed to be repeat patterns, and I thought, all right, well, this is like karma, so let me go back as far as I could possibly go back and see what the issue is here, what happened. When I did a past life meditation, I kept seeing, like I said, you turn off your brain and you just allow whatever comes in, oh, okay, cool, and just let it go and allow the next thing to come in. So I saw like a triangle. I'm like, oh. Now, the left part of your brain wants to say, a triangle? what the hell is that? What does that mean? But don't. You do that when you're done. And I'm like, all right, cool, a triangle. I don't know what it is, but all right. And then the next thing that came to me was Egyptian pyramids. And I'm like, all right, cool, Egypt. Now we're getting somewhere. And then I started seeing different colors and all kinds of other things. And then it's like this story just plays out for you. The other thing, like I was saying, what you could do is what's called a guided meditation, which is really when you're a beginner, that's what you want to do. And I will include some links for that below. You're turning off the left side of your brain and allowing higher divine or subconscious stuff to come out. Things that you need to know in order to do the next step or what the next process is. When you really get good at meditating, you won't need to listen to guided ones anymore. You could just kind of sit down and instantly you'll go into that relaxed state. When you're really, really good at it, that's really when you don't have to be great at meditating in order to develop your intuition, but it is a big part of it. So you want to practice meditating. When I go into my meditative type state, or I'm looking to go elsewhere and get answers to certain things somewhere else, or information about someone else, a customer who's in front of me, I could just sit down and I'm there. And it wasn't always like that. It makes me think of one of my girlfriends who, when she first started meditating, she would complain that she would just sit there in a dark room in her thoughts. And she said this went on for about 6-7 weeks. And she was meditating 1 to 2 times, I think a day, or no, a week. So it took her about 8 or 9 tries, give or take, maybe 10, before she was actually able to completely open those doors to her mind and allow all the information to come in. And it was a very emotional experience for her. She actually went into this meditation to meet her guardian angel, and she saw it, and it gave her a message, and it was pretty deep and intense and absolutely beautiful. I will include all kinds of resources down below. As I said in the previous videos, if this is your first time watching the psychic development or how to hear your intuition video series, I have a freebie below. What you want to do is you want to click on that. Why? When you're developing your natural intuitive abilities, you want to know what your strongest one is. There's a good handful of them. Once you know what your strongest ability is, that is your starting point on where to start your deep pinpoint internal development. So make sure you click on the link below to get that freebie. If you like these kind of videos, be sure to subscribe to my channel, because every week I put out short, intuitive, insightful information on all things psychic, spiritual, in that beautiful bubble, which I don't want it like my hands. I just didn't want to do this because it's just so out there. It's beautiful. It's awesome. So be sure to subscribe to the channel this week. Every week you'll get, these really cool, short, informative videos. Please share it with your friends if you know somebody who you think would really enjoy it. Click below to get your freebie. And any questions, comments, you want me to do a video on any kind of certain thing, comment below, post your questions, and I'll read through them and I'll answer them.